We have Peter Daffarn here from Projects Department. Hi, Peter.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on. Now, tell us first of all a little bit, if they haven't heard, about what Projects Department is all about.
Well, Projects Department was a company that I set up when I left Strand Lighting back in '99.
Yep.
We started out as being really just a lighting consultancy company.
Yep.
But very quickly it grew into doing full studio designs, installations, supply installation and commissioning.
Right.
So it's still a great surprise to me that 14 years later, we're still doing some very nice jobs. And over the years it's grown from our sort of first big job was Middle East Broadcast when I moved from London to Dubai.
Right.
That was in about 2002. But since then we've done a lot in the Middle East, and we've currently just been doing a very nice studio at Pinewood Studios,
Right.
Which Camelot are going to be moving into
Yep.
to run the lottery show from.
Oh, okay. So, obviously, studio lighting design is somewhat important, and this is not something you can just think, oh, I'll buy a load of lights from Photon Beard or something like that and slap them up.
Exactly.
You need to know how to get the best out of them and what lights to use, and that's the sort of thing that you guys can help with.
Indeed. I mean, I always make it clear to people I'm not a lighting director. I don't light programs on a daily basis.
Yeah.
However, over the years I've obviously learnt how to light.
Yeah.
And a lot of the studios we're designing long before the technical people are on board. So
Yeah.
long before they've employed their lighting director or
Yeah.
their cameraman. And so my job is to put together a good basic kit of lights that they can get started with.
Yeah.
And then of course, they'll want to tailor that
Yeah.
later on when the technical people come on board.
So when you're designing a lighting installation, do you have to consider expandability?
Indeed,
with
very
it
much so.
as well?
I mean, often the client will want to start with the bare minimum.
Yep.
And I always say get the basic infrastructure in, the things that are hard to change later, like the lighting grid,
Yep.
the electrical installation. Those are areas that you can't add to easily later.
Yeah.
Once that's correct, then if you start off with 10 lights and you find you need 20 lights, it's
Yeah.
an easy matter just to go and buy another 10 lights and hang them up.
Yeah.
But you can't put another 10 sockets in very easily.
Sure. So if somebody's thinking of setting up a studio, they have no idea how they're going to install a lighting system, what's the sort of process they would go through in order to get you guys on board?
Normally, in fact, I'm doing this right at the moment with a job in Bangladesh,
Yeah.
where the client basically says, here's the size of the studio, and we have a discussion with them about the sort of program they're making, because
Yeah.
if it's a news studio, it's slightly different to a light entertainment studio, and if it's a multi-purpose studio, again, it's slightly different. So we talk to the client, find out what sort of program they're making, what level of complexity they want, because
Yeah.
again, you can be relatively low budget and get effective pictures,
Yeah.
or you can go full spec, lots of moving lights, very high budget,
Yeah.
dramatic. So it's really talking to the client and finding where they want to pitch, what sort of budget they've got,
Yeah.
and also the skills of their operators as well, because there's no point in putting in a very complicated all singing, all dancing lighting desk
Yeah.
if the operators have no idea how to use
Sure.
it.
Yeah. So the idea is to find out exactly the spec they need there and then, but make sure it's something that, 2 years down the line, it's still relevant and they can expand on that.
Exactly.
Go through.
Especially if you're putting in a budget solution, you want to make it easy for the client to upgrade later on.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously in UK, local TV is a big thing at the moment, and this is, somebody thinking of setting up a small TV station. They might know a bit about cameras, might know a bit about the production side behind, but lighting's something new.
That's something we often find that lighting is often forgotten about.
Yeah.
And people get very excited about vision mixers and cameras and sound desks and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing, and then suddenly realise, oh, hang on, we need lighting. But a great quote that I often say to people is that you have to remember that TV without lights is called radio.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't see
Yeah,
any,
absolutely.
So it's actually a very important part.
Yep.
And if you get it wrong, then your pictures look terrible.
Yeah.
If you get it right, nobody notices. So
Yeah. Brilliant, Peter. So, if people want to find you here at IBC,
here at IBC, I'm on the Photon Beard stand, which
Yep.
is our sister company,
Yep.
which is Hall 11, stand number D43.
Great.
And we have a website, of course, which is www.projectsdepartment.com.
Brilliant. So they can find you on the photo bid, where you can even show them the lights, and you can also talk about getting them installed properly.
Indeed, yeah. And we've got some press releases on some recent jobs that we've done. So,
excellent.
yeah.
Peter, well, thank you for coming on and let us know. I didn't know about Projects Department, which I do now, so it is very useful.
It's been kept sort of quiet for the last few years, but now we're doing these high-profile ones. Probably it's time to shout about it a bit more.
Quite right too, Peter. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you are thinking of putting a lighting system in your studio and you're not sure where to start, Peter's your man, and you can find him in Hall 11, D43 if you're coming to IBC over the next few days, or of course have a look at their website.